What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and Marvel Studios / Disney, really Disney, has updated their theatrical release slates for 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, and 2028, 29, 30, and 31. Those last few are a bit of a stretch. They didn't update the entire slate up until that point, but have a few movies planned that far out. But in this, we get an official release date for Avengers Secret Wars. We also get the current title for Avengers 5. And Bob Iger, during the earnings call yesterday, where all of this went down, did talk about Marvel Studios' new plan for reduced output. Bob Iger and Kevin Feige have been talking about this for some time now, and Bob Iger has made it very clear that he is trying to change the way the studio does a few things, as far as messaging is concerned and as far as how many movies and shows that they are going to produce for Disney+. So a lot to unpack today, and a lot is going to be coming in the near future. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all the latest MCU news. So let's first start it off with what Bob Iger said about the reduced output coming from Disney in general, and specifically and particularly with Marvel. He literally mentioned Marvel by name. So during the quarterly earnings call for Disney yesterday, Bob Iger stated, "We've reduced volume, we've reduced output, particularly at Marvel." He also teased that they are going to start focusing on some of its stronger franchises going forward, stating, "I'll leave it at that." Meaning we might be focusing more on the core Avengers again and not so much on these other characters that have been newly introduced over time that maybe won't go on in the MCU to play really important roles. It looks like they are basically reducing the output of new characters that they are introducing into the MCU and going to focus more on the core characters that everybody has been used to. Now, I like this plan, but I also kind of don't like it because they should continue to introduce new characters to the MCU. Because some of these original characters and some characters that have been around for a while at this point in time aren't going to be around forever. But I do agree that they should focus on kind of core and bigger characters like the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. Nothing against the Echo series. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than most people did, but it seems like a story that isn't going to really impact the MCU moving forward. And if they are trying to reduce output, it seems like stories like that and series like that are probably going to get cut. And they're going to get cut so Marvel can focus on actual Avengers, X-Men, and Fantastic Four members. Also, I just wanted to address that the Thunderbolts movie is not canceled. We'll get into that in a bit, but a lot of people have been stating that this morning because Bob Iger failed to mention the Thunderbolts and Blade when talking about 2025 movies. But we'll get to that in just a bit. So let's dive into the official release date for films that Disney put out yesterday, going through 2024 to, like I mentioned, 2031. But for 2024, they have The First Omen, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Young Woman and the Sea, Inside Out 2, and then on July 26th of 2024, we have Untitled Deadpool movie. So Deadpool has not been delayed. Great news because you never really know what could happen, especially after what Bob Iger said. But then we have Alien, Romulus, Untitled Disney movie, The Amateur, Moana 2, for those Moana fans out there, and Mufasa, The Lion King. Then we dive into 2025. And again, a lot of people were freaking out because during the call, Bob Iger did not specifically mention the Thunderbolts or Blade on the call when talking about 2025 films. However, I think he just chose a few films to mention for 2025 instead of mentioning them all on the call, which you'll see here, because on February 14th of 2025, we have Captain America Brave New World. So getting some pretty big release date updates here. Then in March, we have an Untitled Disney movie and Disney's Snow White. Then May 2nd of 2025, we have the Fantastic Four. A lot of news on this front lately. It's recently been officially confirmed that Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic. SAG, S-A-G, they have confirmed this by accident, it looks like, on their website for Pedro Pascal's bio, where they put he has recently joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe and will begin filming for the Fantastic Four soon. That has since been removed from the website, so we assume they got a call from Marvel. In May, we also have another untitled Disney movie. Then in June, we have Elio, and then we have Moana, which we assume is the live-action Moana starring The Rock. But then as we can see here, we have the Thunderbolts, listed for July 25th of 2025. So the Thunderbolts is still listed on this official release date slate for Disney. It has not been canceled. And if we go down just a little bit, we see that in August, they have another untitled Disney movie. But then in November 7th of 2025, they have Blade listed. So the Thunderbolts and Blade are still on the release slate. They have not been canceled. Again, I think Bob Iger probably just chose a few movies to mention that he's excited about for 2025 and didn't mention the Thunderbolts or Blade, which could be a bad sign that the movies might not be going according to plan right now. We know that they've had to do a bunch of script rewrites, and we know the Thunderbolts recently lost Stephen Yeun as Sentry, and they got a new Sentry now. So perhaps he's just not mentioning them because he doesn't really know how they're going to turn out. Hopefully great. It seems like he really is trying to make some pretty big changes over at Marvel Studios along with Marvel president Kevin Feige. So hopefully they turn out good. Now in 2026, they have a ton of untitled projects, 14 untitled projects to be exact. They have untitled Disney, Marvel, Pixar, Disney, Star Wars, Pixar, Disney, Marvel, Disney, Marvel, Disney Animation, and Star Wars again. So 2 Star Wars movies and 4 Marvel movies. 3 are untitled, but there is one that is titled, the next Avengers film, which they still have listed as Avengers the Kang Dynasty, and this is listed for May 1st of 2026. So the previous report that we got from the Hollywood Reporter either has changed or was not true, because Avengers 5 is still the Kang Dynasty according to Disney. Now that doesn't mean that they can't change it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say they stick with Kang. The report was they are going to kind of sideline Kang so they could let all of the stuff that happened with Jonathan Majors in court kind of die down. That way Kang, the name Kang, didn't really have a negative association paired with it because of what happened with Jonathan Majors, who of course played Kang before. They have since let him go, and now they are recasting, and this confirms that they are sticking with Kang as the main villain for the multiverse saga. Now I might add that this could always change. They could change the name of the movie, but the fact that they put this on the official release slate means that they are pretty confident that it's going to be the Kang Dynasty. So as for now, we'll go forward assuming that the next Avengers film is Avengers the Kang Dynasty, like they have stated here. Plus they have 3 other untitled Marvel movies coming out that year. February 13th, 2026, Avengers Kang Dynasty, like I mentioned, May 1st, but then July 24th of 2026, we have another untitled Marvel movie, and then in November 6th, 2026, we have another untitled Marvel movie. Then in 2027, they listed 2 films. One is the untitled Star Wars movie. This seems to be the 3rd Star Wars movie. There is 2 coming out in 2026 and 1 in 2027, December 17th. And then in May of 2027, we have Avengers Secret Wars with the official release date of May 7th. 2027. And this is actually a pleasant surprise. I think I even mentioned it in a video yesterday that a lot of insiders were thinking that we are not getting Avengers Secret Wars until 2028. So a lot of people, including myself, were bummed that we were going to have to wait 4 years until Avengers Secret Wars, but now only 3, which is still a while, but there is, as we saw, a lot of really exciting stuff happening between now and Avengers Secret Wars, including Avengers the Kang Dynasty. And I'll just add this in here for the Avatar fans. They do have 2028, 29, 30, and 31 films as a slot listed below 2027. And on December 21st, 2029, we get Avatar 4. And December 19th in 2031, we get Avatar 5, with Avatar 3 coming on December 19th, 2025. So Avatar 3 in 2025, Avatar 4 in 2029, and Avatar 5 in 2031. So as you can see, Disney and Marvel have a lot of plans right now. And on the official Walt Disney Studios website for the media kits, for the press members, they still have Daredevil Born Again listed for 2024. So for those who are wondering when exactly Daredevil Born Again is going to come out, it still looks like it's coming out in 2024, despite everything being pushed pushed back a lot. So a lot of big reveals today. We have the official release date for Avengers Secret Wars, and the title for Avengers 5 we have discovered is still Avengers the Kang Dynasty, meaning Marvel is indeed still going to focus on Kang, and they will recast him. And it's really great to have that clarity. Now we don't have to wonder, well, who is going to be the next villain, or what is Marvel Studios going to do in the meantime? Well, we know. It sounds like the plans are pretty much the same. They're just going to wait a little bit until the Kang Dynasty comes out, but then it'll still be Kang the Conqueror. So let me know your thoughts about all of this news in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to stay up to date on the MCU. And if you subscribe and leave a comment, you're automatically entered in our giveaway for a chance to win a PS5, an Xbox Series X, some Marvel Legends items, and some DC items. The winner gets to pick one item, and we pick one winner at the end of each month. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.